For half a century, it has embodied the little girl's doll, an inescapable part of their education, for better or for worse. For 50 years, Barbie has been parading her frozen smile and improbable figure in TV commercials. Behind the legend was a little girl, Barbara, born in the prosperous post-war USA of the 50s. Her parents, Ruth and Elliot Handler, had set up the Mattel Company in 1945.
Remember, you can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
Mattel designed miniature furniture for dolls' houses. Legend has it that Ruth had the idea of making an adult doll by watching her daughter play with paper figurines that represented women. To hell with sexless Dolly for playing at Mummy. This was Barbie, short for Barbara, an independent, sexy, well-dressed young woman.
Barbie, you're beautiful. You make me.
While little boys dreamed of Superman's big muscles, little girls would dream of Barbie's big breasts and pretty dresses.
I'll make believe that I am you.
Such were the fantasies exploited by the toy industry, in Mattel's world at any rate. Barbie was launched in March 1959 at the New York Toy Fair. To look better on TV, she posed in a black and white striped swimsuit and caused a sensation. 300,000 dolls were sold in the first year. But Puritan America was shocked. With her provocative bosom and hourglass figure, shapely legs, come-hither look, and extreme makeup, Barbie was the antithesis of the submissive American middle-class housewife, something parents could never approve of.
I think I'd like all of them.
So in its ads, Mattel spoke directly to the young girls.
Let's begin with garden.
Take your old Barbie and $1.50 and trade them for the Barbie who's new.
Trade in your old Barbie today, while you can still get the new Barbie for less than half price.
If there's a limited supply.
Barbie, or a crash course in the consumer society. In 1961, the inevitable happened.
She met Ken, and then somehow
Barbie and Ken, the beginning of a beautiful love story, but more of that later. Barbie dressed like Jackie Kennedy and followed the latest fashions, which for a model was natural. In the early 60s, she swapped her stockings for tights, and in the 70s, sported a tan, forward-looking eyes, finally, and an open smile. That was Barbie Malibu.
Yellowstone Kelly's going to the mountains.
During the hippie movement, she'd go camping in the woods with her sleeping bag and dance in the disco in her bell-bottoms. Visions of Janis Joplin on LSD.
What a Barbie! She does so many things now.
A feminist debate sprang up. Wasn't Barbie a brainless, superficial woman object? Mattel strove to prove the claim unfounded, making Barbie into a woman of her time who followed not only fashion, but also societal changes. For example, during the civil rights struggle, Barbie had a black friend called Christy.
Welcome to the Barbie Hour.
But mainly, Mattel turned Barbie into an emancipated woman at the wheel of her own car, who tried her hand at all trades.
Dr. Barbie's into making her patients feel good. She's into
Doctor, dancer, teacher, and even candidate for the U.S. presidential elections.
They're never done. There's ABCs and one.
And that was the genius in Mattel's marketing. Barbie was a person with a biography, friends, a renewable wardrobe, and hobbies.
Barbie has a dune buggy, a moving sun and fun buggy.
Boat, camper, pool, surfing, ski, home, hairstyle, makeup. Barbie's world was filled with all kinds of objects and accessories.
Barbie's world.
So many things that little girls always want more.
I camp out of
And the parents buy it.
Barbie.
In the 1980s, the all-American doll set off to conquer the world, but ad-wise, it was still the same refrain.
Barbie.
Barbie, you may not caer. Te llamas Barbie.
Whatever. By then, Barbie was an international language. But Mattel did make an effort in the United States to keep the ethnic communities happy. In the 1990s, the firm partnered with Benetton, and the blue-eyed, fair-skinned blonde hung out with the Asian Teresa, the Hispanic Marina, and the African-American Shani. Isn't Mattel's world of color beautiful? By the late 1990s, vintage Barbie became collector's items, but little girls' interest in the blonde bombshell was on the wane, and in 2001, disaster struck. Bratz dolls hit the market, Vulgar, tardy makeup, high skirts and high heels, Bratz owned more to Britney Spears than to Jackie Kennedy. And the young did love them, and competition grew fiercer. Mattel sued the makers of Bratz, as their creator designed the concept when he was working for Mattel, and were awarded $100 million for unfair competition. However, Bratz are still on sale, and Mattel's business is floundering. In 2004, the American firm resorted to desperation tactics. After 40 years together, Barbie dumped Ken and took up with a blonde Australian surfer. Ken, perishable goods, was replaced like a vulgar accessory. But the perennial blonde kept her smile and celebrated her 50th birthday with great pomp, with Karl Lagerfeld, among others, granting her a photo session. The media stunts had little effect, and sales continued falling. Could this be her swan song? Not really, when you consider that Barbie is much more than a little girl's dolly. Now a true icon, her image has escaped from her creators. Because in the public consciousness, Barbie is more the big-chested blonde than the emancipated woman. And thus, 29 centimeters of our childhood were used to sell rubbers. It's doubtful whether Mattel would approve.